A former patient has told Sky News that she was repeatedly failed by the system, which did nothing as she was groomed and sexually assaulted by a predator who worked in the psychiatric unit where she was being treated. Calls for help were reportedly ignored, leaving her feeling voiceless and vulnerable. Well, now she's waived her right to anonymity to speak with our health correspondent, Ashish Joshi.
Thinking that it might be okay, that it might be safe here, and it might get better here. It was within the first few days of me being at Watcombe that I met the abuser.
Nima's mental health problems began when she was 13. She struggled with depression and anxiety and was referred to CAMS, the NHS's mental health services for children. At 16, her treatment led to Watcombe Hall, a privately run residential psychiatric unit, paid for and commissioned by the NHS. But instead of being protected and helped, Nima was exposed to a serial sex offender.
The longer I was there and the more leave that I was taking with him, the more that we were going on these escorted walks, the further it progressed. So it moved on to he was kissing me, he kissed me, and initially that was sort of like he kissed me on the cheek, and then it moved to the lips, and then it moved to him touching different parts of my body. I felt that I was in love with him in the kind of relationship you'd have between a girlfriend and a boyfriend. Not for any minute did I ever think or worry or feel that he was doing something wrong.
Nima was discharged in June 2017, and this is when the most serious assault took place, a day after she left Watcombe Hall and arranged to meet her abuser here in Shaldon.
It was meant to be like a birthday treat for me. He bought me a necklace with a little pendant on it, and he'd brought a little picnic, so we were sat in a woods near his home in quite a secluded area. We were sat eating and chatting and laughing, and then I took off my top. I just remember feeling sick, just feeling really, really sick, and having this horrible gut feeling that something was wrong.
Nima had told a member of staff about her relationship, but shockingly no action was taken, nor was she told warnings about her abuser had been sounded before. And when the abuse was finally exposed, Nima was sent back to Watcombe Hall for further treatment. It is a catalogue of serious failings.
They absolutely failed in their duty of care. That there were so many obvious signs and signals and red flags the entire time that I was there.
Marcus Danielle pleaded guilty to 21 offences. He was sentenced to 11 years in prison for sexually abusing 3 teenage girls in his care. Nima blames the Watcombe Group and the NHS for a failing children's mental health system, for exposing her to a sexual predator. She's suing the Watcombe Group, which was owned by Four Seasons Healthcare Group, but isn't anymore. In response to Nima's story, they told Sky News, "We deeply regret the harm that Miss Hunt experienced while in the care of Watcombe Hall, which at the time was owned and independently managed by the Watcombe Group. Watcombe Hall failed to meet the expected standards and was subsequently closed in 2017. We are unable to comment further on this specific case until any legal action has concluded." And NHS England responded by saying, "Measures are in place so that patients receive high-quality, safe care from the organisations commissioned to provide care, and contracts are regularly monitored to ensure this happens." Nima entered into the system as a vulnerable 13-year-old needing help with her mental health. She is now 20 and still receiving support.
I struggle more than I ever have now with my body in its physical form, and the idea of having a woman's body feels really almost sickening to me because of what Marcus did, because of what he made me believe about myself.
Ashish Joshi, Sky News.